The Premier League is the most famous football league in the world. People from all over the world know who Liverpool are, what Erling Haaland does for a living, and which half of Manchester has been miserable for the last 15 years. And yet, the very people who this league is supposed to be representing, the British, are getting absolutely screwed when they try to watch it. In this video, we unpack the insane financial costs of watching the Premier League on TV in the UK, and reveal a lesser-known British law that forbids even the most die-hard fan from watching their own team's games. Let's get into it. In order to be guaranteed to be able to watch every match, and subsequently guarantee that you get to watch every match of your team,
thousands and thousands of hours of football, each more climactic than the last,
you need to have two TV subscriptions, Sky Sports and TNT, or BT to viewers over the age of 20. You can get deals for both of these providers, but generally speaking, the most average deals look to me, and to one of the main sources I'm using for this video, Sporticos, to average out at about 31 quid a month. So taken together, you can expect to pay around 62 quid a month for Sky and TNT. That means to be guaranteed to watch all the Premier League games while living in the UK where the Premier League takes place, you need to be willing to pay 62 quid a month.
I'm sorry, it's how much?
That is an absurd price for anyone. For contrast, this is near enough the exact same as monthly subscriptions to the ad-free versions of Netflix, Apple TV, Disney+, YouTube Premium, Spotify, and Paramount. And you can see how desperately I was trying to get a comparable number there, because I mean really, who has a Paramount subscription? Paying such a high price would be insane if you managed to watch every game. But of course, most people don't. People are busy or don't care about other teams. The vast majority of people pay for these subscriptions because they want to watch their club. So what's that? Probably a game a week, 4 games a month, assuming there's no sodding international break. 360 minutes of football for 62 quid a month. That is madness. But what isn't madness is roughly a video a week for free. And that's what you get if you subscribe to Theorising Football on YouTube. Please do subscribe for more football videos, and while you're down there, please do give the video a like if you're enjoying it. Thanks, and on with the video. Oh, do you happen to follow a team in Europe? Well then you'll need to chuck on a subscription to Amazon Prime. That's 95 quid for the year to be sure of seeing those games as well. And that's a good point actually, because inevitably these things bind you in for at least yearly contracts. So we should be timesing those TNT and Sky Sports numbers by 12. That's 744 quid a year for the two of them. Add on Amazon and we get to 839 quid a year to watch your team. But then you have the FA Cup and indeed quite a few England international games, which tend to be on ITV or BBC. And that means in order to watch these games, you need to pay the license fee. And that's 175 quid for the year. So that takes our total to watch your own team in the country where that team is from to £1,014. That's $1,383 for our American friends. That's right, if you're living in Britain supporting a Premier League team, it will cost you over £1,000 a year to watch your football team on the TV.
It's going a bit too far, don't you think?
And of course, that's not even mentioning the price of actually physically attending the games. That's a separate video. Or that written football coverage is now becoming increasingly behind paywalls, with The Athletic grabbing many of the UK's best football writers and sticking them behind a monthly subscription, and many other newspapers sticking up paywalls left and right. But that aside, Brits, do you guys have £1,000 knocking around right now that you can spend on essentially watching TV? I certainly don't, and I'd wager a lot of Brits, especially young Brits, don't either.
Well, I kind of don't have any money left.
Now, £1,000 a year would be absurd regardless, but a quick look at what other countries are paying to watch the UK's own Premier League makes that number look even grosser. The aforementioned Sporticos have done a fantastic job of compiling what all the countries of the world, or at least the ones they could find reliable numbers for, pay to watch the Premier League, and every single one of them pays less than the nation the actual Premier League takes place in, the UK. Now, admittedly, these are numbers for the Premier League only, so it's not £1,000 we're talking about for Brits, but only, in big inverted commas, the 744 quid it costs for Sky and TNT in order to get all of the Premier League games. But that said, the Irish, with whom we share a border, only pay the equivalent of 260 quid, and the Italians are closer to 150, not to mention all of these countries who are paying basically nothing. And even the rich Scandies are paying roughly a third or a quarter less than the British. And that seems bonkers, right? Surely the country in which the league takes place shouldn't be the most expensive place to watch the league. Now, I am not entirely thick. For you economists screaming at the screen, I am aware that the demand for the Premier League is the highest in the UK, and thus this is the place they can get away with charging the highest prices. I understand that. Nevertheless, there is certainly a significant part of me that is annoyed about this, that thinks something should be done about this absurd price for watching the Premier League or your own club in the UK. Perhaps, as some have floated, the Premier League should start its own streaming service. Even if they priced it at 30 quid a month, that would be a significant cost reduction for Brits, but of course would risk the current financial dominance of the Premier League. There's a lot to unpack with this suggestion, enough for a video of its own. Let me know if you'd like a video on the possibility of a Netflix of the Premier League. But you know what's even more annoying than the absurd price of watching football on TV in the UK? Well, you know how I've been saying throughout this video that to guarantee you get to see all your team's games, you need to pay roughly £1,000 a year? Yeah, well, that was a lie.
That's a lie.
You cannot legally watch on TV all of your team's games in the UK at all, grand or no grand. Welcome to the 3 p.m. blackout. In the UK, if 50% of the fixtures in the top two divisions, so for example here the Championship and the Premier League, kick off at 3 o'clock, then no football can be shown on TV in the UK between 2:45 and 5:15. That might seem moderately complicated, but in practice it means this. If the Premier League and Championship are both scheduled on a Saturday, then none of the matches that kick off at 3 o'clock on that Saturday will be on TV. None. And of course, historically and still to this day, 3 o'clock on a Saturday is the main time football kicks off in the UK. Yes, to be clear, you heard that right. You can pay £1,000 a year in the UK, so much more than any other country in the world, and still, if your team kicks off at 3 p.m. on a Saturday, you cannot watch the game on TV. Live in Australia? Fine, watch it. Live in America? Fine, watch it. Live in Nigeria? Fine, watch it. Live in the UK, you cannot watch that 3 p.m. kickoff on the TV. A brief look at the fixtures, which you can do yourself, will tell you that in the Premier League, the 3 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday fixture normally covers 40 to 50% of the games to be played that weekend. That is an astonishingly high percentage of games that you're going to miss, even though you're shelling out £1,000 a year to watch the football, and a percentage that will doubtless include your team frequently. So you'll still miss your own team. And this is all without diving into the lower leagues, who both have 1, far worse and less consistent TV coverage, and 2, way more games kicking off at 3 o'clock, so way more games that won't be televised. Now, the 3 p.m. blackout does have its merits. It supposedly protects the attendance of lower league clubs by forcing people to go out and watch the games at the stadium, rather than stay in and watch Man United get thumped for the 5th time that season. The degree to which this is definitely true is debatable.
Well, that's debatable.
And let me know if you do want a video on it, but it's certainly not entirely without reason. However, to pay £1,000 to watch your football team and then not even be guaranteed to see every match they play is obviously absurdly sickening and evidence of something going wrong in Britain for football fans. Before ending, I want to stress that fans who watch football on the TV aren't just lazy or just armchair fans. Many of us move far away enough from our football team's home cities, or we're never living there in the first place, that attending the match in person just isn't possible. Even those of us who could, in theory, sometimes attend, occasionally just don't have access to tickets for various reasons, such as their costs, the time needed to attend a football match when we might have other things to do or other people to care for, such as children for example, or the impossibility of getting tickets for certain games. For a lot of clubs, away tickets are like gold dust. So this isn't a problem real, in inverted commas, football fans should just laugh at and move on. This is something that should piss off all British football fans. Something must be done about this. What that is, I'm not sure, but it surely cannot go on like this. Thanks for watching Theorising Football. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe for more football content. Here's a couple of videos to watch next. Thanks for watching.